Confronting the Achievement Gap by David Gardner. David Gardner retired from teaching in 2005. He is now head teacher for Explorations in Math. Explorations is a nonprofit group working with the Seattle schools. This article is about the achievement gap between students of different situations and why there is such a huge gap in success. Also, the article gives solutions to overcome the achievement gap. Why the big gap in the past? The gap dates back to World War I when the soldiers were given tests. These tests were IQ tests that were given unfairly. The whites received the easier questions and were well educated, while the colored received harder questions with little to no education. Racism did not stop there. In 1927, South Carolina spent $2.74 per colored student, while they spent $27.88 per white student. On the other hand, a greater gap is seen in Mississippi when the average was $3.59 per colored student to $68.15 per white student. The difference in money means the difference in education. Where more money is spent, more effort is exerted. The rich people had a great education because they had the money to support it, while the poor people, who were mostly colored and had no money to support the education system. The Jim Crow laws were no help too, as they held colored students back and provided a long-term negative feeling towards education for the colored people. Why the big gap in the present? The reasons for the gap nowadays is similar in ways but different in others. Students' negative attitude towards school creates an overall negative mood with the teacher. Some teachers tend to just give up on a child and go through motions, only to allow the kid to pass the class with no growth going on. These teachers don't believe in their students and their ability to learn, so they just give up on them instead of taking time to actually teach the student. There is also a problem of rich versus poor. This exists because the well-off students are able to go on trips around the world to experience learning about a different culture hands-on. On the other hand, a poor child may not have that same opportunity to travel and experience life that way, but they do have their own experience, just different ones. Sometimes these students are also not able to just leave their neighborhood. The social and economical differences may bring about negative feelings for the lower class child who doesn't have everything an upper class child does. This leads into attitude. The attitude a student carries with them affects the way they learn. Students with negative attitude do not seek school as a refuge, but as a place they never want to be. A poor child, who may see their parents struggling in life even though they work hard, sees that hard work sometimes does nothing. Some of these poor children, they don't even get to see their parents because they work hard every day. A poor child sees their parents struggling, but they can't do anything. With that attitude, a child may become angry, resent school, and lose trust in their teacher and education overall. They might not even want to go to school anymore, which leads to dropouts. Along with attitude comes two types of locus, which is called the locus of control. One is the internal locus. Internal is when students that did themselves responsible for their success and failures. They tend to attribute their success to how hard they actually work. As for external students, they believe their success and failures are due to outside forces, such as luck, fate, or the teacher just likes them or just doesn't like them. Another problem people may see in education is the idea of unconscious racism. Teachers are unaware of racism, as they do it unintentionally. Things may just happen, like when meeting parents, a teacher may be more friendly towards a certain race as they are with another one. As a result, when teachers are confronted about this problem, some get offended and lash out. This does no good, and it fails to improve the racism factor of the achievement gap. Now, it's time for the solutions. Attitude change is a huge one. With a positive change in attitude, a student may learn to love school. When racism is recognized and dealt with, there is an equal balance between students, and the achievement gap will decrease. Lastly, a change in heart for everyone allows for a better environment for learning. This allows students to enjoy school and feel safe while learning. There are steps the teacher may take to be able to help their students. 1. A teacher may believe in their students. 2nd, they make learning fun. When teachers believe in their students, students will have a change in attitude. This change will allow their students to know that the teacher believes in them. When a teacher encourages a student, they will be able to feel like they can do it. Also, a teacher may allow a student to fail. This failure is necessary, for it allows the student to learn through hard work. Also, the will to work is great because they need to have the will in order to really want to achieve what they can. As for making learning fun, we tend to like things that we enjoy. Teachers need to create their own materials by finding things in their homes or even in trash cans that may help students learn hands-on. Also, with humor and laughter, it creates a better environment for students to learn. Another way that making learning fun is through brain games. These games may be small, but it also helps a child to learn to love learning. These help to make learning fun. Also, a positive attitude overall allows for great environment that a student may learn. With the positive attitude, the achievement gap will be decreased.